The Fallacy of Humanity. Juil made a dance of time as she sidestepped loudly into Bravas's quarters, barely avoiding collision with her peers. Indeed, Bravas's door had been closed, and a note that moments before stated, "Tell it to the stars. Open hours are 2 moons to 1, joined in on a smooth sway before settling a few paces and turns from the doorway. "I said 2 moons to 1! Sire! Juil had to let it out before the floors were tapped into cinder. "The humans, they're trying again, but something different?" she exclaimed in a quizzically enamored tone. Bravas's sweet taste of lunch would have to wait a few beats longer, for alas, he knew that when Juil was at the point of vigor, there simply wasn't any point in trying to fight back. He inhaled. And what exactly have the Juil loved playing tag. Juil also loved finishing other people's sentence. "Humans," Juil completed jaggedly, "have sent 2 rockets into the breaches of their atmosphere, but not quite like those before. I think they have plans to ascend beyond the moon. Oh, this is extraordinary." Juil's voice gradually faded as Bravas pondered. See, Bravas liked to think. He liked to think while in the state of relieving himself, and he liked to think in the state of refueling. In fact, Bravas liked to think so much, he'd pose outlandish questions to confuse his conversational comrades, forcing both parties into silence to think upon his inane suggestions, and later feigning ignorance at the discovered lack of feasibility in his initial thought. But at least he got to think. As this thought trailed off, he watched Juil's feet for any sign of fuel to keep going. He hesitated. "And do you have a display of this handy?" He could have easily pulled up the imagery on his portals. However, his disdain for humans meant he didn't quite want his records tainted by the glee of naivete. Sooner than he'd processed asking the question, Juil had pulled up the imagery. Well, a Bruig shall be his mother. He didn't have any time to think. The imagery was clearer than the solar eclipse. The human words, primitive. He'd made sure to think to himself, announced the race between 2 greater masses of wealth. Supposedly one sold abundance, and the other dug tunnels. He could never be quite sure and made damned sure of it too. Juil's eyes shone sweeter than the glazing of his post-lunch treat. His treat, in fact, which was now sweating vigorously on his desk. "Here it is! Isn't it amazing? I can't believe it! Soon enough they'll go to Mars, and then I'll be able to welcome the first humans to our space." Quantifying Bravas's disdain for humans would be comparable to his deep affinity for thought. In fact, he found humans the complete galaxy opposite of what a well-thought-out thought constructed through well-planned thinking and considered afterthought was. After a burst of micro-contemplation, similar to thought but slightly different, he composed the horror on his face into a symphony of pseudo-calmness and breeze. He had to. After all, Juil did not know of connotations, and her thought had not yet graduated to those realms. "Just more tosh, Juil. I mean, look at the shape of the poor thing. It had never survived the brute force and vastness of our galaxy's splendor. Quite frankly, I imagine it'd go quite flaccid, not even 5 seconds past the dark side of the moon. Quickly now, put it away, and don't come back until it's 2 moons and 1. I mean it." Bravas let out a hefty internal chortle. Lunch was soon his.